It's hardly a surprise that the exchange rate fell when GDP growth turned out to be 0.3% in the September quarter instead of 0.5% as expected, and only 0.8% for the year, the lowest 12-month growth rate in national output since December 1991. The dollar got as low as 64.1 US cents and is still under 64.5 US cents, its lowest level since April 2021. Now, it seems to me that it's also the least meaningful national accounts in a long time. For a start, it's the 7th consecutive quarter of declining GDP per capita. So if it hadn't been for immigration, this would be a 21-month-long recession, the same as the shocker we had in the early 1980s. In fact, per capita GDP started trending down in the GFC and hasn't recovered. Before that, per capita growth averaged 2% a year. After that, it's averaged 1%. And as discussed, has actually shrunk for 21 months. And apart from immigration, economic growth is entirely due to government spending, which has completely taken over from consumer spending. Household consumption has fallen from 57% of GDP to less than 52%. So the quarterly change in gross domestic product tells us nothing about what's actually going on, which is nothing very good. On the share market, miners up, banks down, and Tabcorp dropped 1.8% after it emerged that 10% of its staff had been sent packing. Global markets were mostly flat, and the oil price jumped 2.7% after the US did some sanctions against outfits that were transporting Iranian oil to China in breach of the sanctions against Iran. And that's finance.